There's a cold start. I was not happy to fire up in the morning. Oh. Well, we are going to get our day started. Check off our lights, head over to Blue Beacon. Get the campers washed. Get some fuel, and then head over for delivery. I got up right away, checked out Central Dispatch. I had 3 loads on there that I had saved. Man, I was all congested this morning. So we had 3 cars on there that we had saved between me and Courtney, and we got it this morning, and someone cleared out the work list. Assuming we got somebody new that hasn't messed with it. So I've noticed that we got a bunch of saved different like save searches, and they're all like the same thing, different names. There's like 40 of them that showed up. And then I've noticed the work list keeps getting cleared out, which, you know, just rule of thumb is if you don't put it there, then don't take it off. But they're all gone this morning. So I kind of remember where some of them were, so I searched, and 2 of them are just completely gone. And the other one, they changed the pickup date on, so I'm gonna go do this stuff. Courtney's gonna stick around on Central for a while and see what she can find to get me out of here. But that's kind of how our morning started out. Our little lake back here froze overnight. That was all ripply water yesterday. Alright, we'll get the generator packed up and get going. For any of you that ever come to Windish, there was a space just a second ago you saw in front of that van trailer. So we're going to drive around the block because we're going to end up parking in front of that trailer, and that's where we're going to unload from. I'll just kind of show you. I know the first time I came through here, I wasn't sure if you could make it through these streets. I was looking on Google Maps, and it wasn't really a clear picture. But so you're gonna go north on Quail Street, right next to Windish, and then you're going to take your first right, which is where we just turned, and then we literally just drive around the block. The streets are a little twisty, windy, but it looks like this is pretty much the truck route that most of these trucks around this area takes. It's kind of like a little industrial area, it looks like. And I know I'm not the first one that got confused. I talked to somebody else that was all confused too on how to get turned around. They're kind of a little leery on going around the block, which, like I said, I was too, but I figured I ain't gonna know until I find out. In worst case scenario, I gotta start backing up. So with Windish, the problem is they don't have enough room in their yard for the step decks to get in. I highly doubt a haul and tow can get in there too. It's kind of a steep driveway, so I'd almost bet you almost bottom out. So my guess would be the guys that have haul and tow, you'd almost have to do the same exact thing. They're probably gonna have you drive around, get flipped around the other direction, and unload on the street. I was told last fall that they're a new city ordinance had passed, and they were going to not let people park on the right side of the road, so they're kind of leery if they're going to have enough room to unload people on their side of the road. But I still see vehicles parking there, so I don't know if people just don't abide by it, or if they never passed that ordinance. But the way I understood it was the ordinance had already passed. So yeah, not difficult at all. Just gotta do a little swing around. And once you get past the stop sign, you can see the camper sitting right there. That's the back side of the Windish lot. So yeah, as soon as we get through this intersection here, we're just gonna swing around that drive in, and we're gonna back up to it, leave enough space to drop the first unit so we can pull ahead to drop the second unit, and still leave enough room for us to get out of here. So, oh, I see he's on the golf cart, and he's got cones out for us already, so that's kind of nice. So yeah, right where that golf cart's sitting is right where I'm going to pull in, and then we're going to back up to this van body a little bit and get unloaded. Well, while we sit here waiting for the paperwork to come back, we got unloaded, everything's signed. He just has to run up and make some copies. So all the loads that we had ready to go on Central are either someone else got to it before we called, or they were canceled. Actually, one was taken, one was canceled, and then one, they changed the ship date to like the 24th or something like that. So all three loads, we lost out on those. So we're gonna keep looking a little bit, but I'm gonna start working my way back home and maybe grab something in Nebraska. Them typically pay a little better than here in Colorado. But I'll be right back. He is coming up with our paperwork. Awesome. Thank you very much.
Let me get that cone out.
Oh, I got some paperwork to send off yet anyway.
What's that?
I got some paperwork. I got to send all this in first anyway, so it'll be a few minutes.
You got careful on that. I know they're going to have a storm there.
Yeah, I think it's later tonight, I think.
For them there, I think it's tomorrow.
All right, yeah, I'll be back in Iowa by tonight. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, anyway, we lost all of our loads that we had for getting back home, but everything that I had found, there was one just north of Denver, and then I think the other 2 were in Nebraska, kind of by Kearney, if I remember right. So we're gonna keep looking in the Nebraska area. Those were all 3 of those that we had found were all over $1 per mile. One was $2.87 a mile going from Omaha to Sioux Falls. So that one was a little bit out of my way, but it was just a small SUV, so it was going to be well worth my time. But the 2 that I had, one dropped in Omaha, one dropped in Sioux City, and then the one that I'd pick up in Omaha would go to Sioux Falls. But so right now we are running empty, trying to get all my paperwork sent in, figure out my tolls, my wash, and get that sent in, and then I should be paid for these this afternoon. And then a little update on that gate that I took out. I'll put a little screenshot here in a second of what the gate looked like. When I pulled up that night, I had it in the GoPro, so I should have actually taken pictures of it after I hit it. Like I said, it wasn't like it wouldn't shut worth a crap, but it's not like it was completely leveled, laid out, destroyed. The one vertical pole that's cemented in that the gate hinges on, that bent over, so that would have had to have been replaced. The gate, I think, was fixable. But I heard from our safety lady, and she told me what they got quoted to fix that gate, and I thought she was honestly joking. Because yeah, it was about 8 times higher than what I was planning on. So I think the gate guesstimation is about 6 foot tall, 8 foot wide. It's a double gate, hinges open like barn doors. So if they would replace that and then the one pole, yeah, but from what I hear is they're replacing the whole thing. So I don't know what she means by the whole thing. Both gates, half a section of fencing, a bunch of poles, what? They were quoted $4,100. I was like, I could easily go to the hardware store and build an exact gate for about 600 bucks. Granted, I know there's labor on top of that too, but $4,100 for a 6 by 8 foot gate and a pole. Yeah, I don't buy that. They said they're going to give me the invoice once it's all done. I got to pay the first $1,500 of it. So I mean, which for me that's nice. But I want to see that invoice and what they got quoted for $4,100 and what she means by we're replacing the whole thing. So that is the update on that. I wasn't really too impressed with that. I mean, I know crap happens. I hit it, my fault. I know I was going to pay for it, but yeah, I honestly figured it'd be under $1,000. So I don't know. There's the update on that. So I'm gonna get this paperwork all sent in so we can get out of Denver. That was quite the traffic trying to get here. It took me 35 minutes to go, I don't know what it is, 16 miles, something like that. But in the last 5-6 miles, I suppose, we were running 60 miles an hour. So that is it for now. I'll let you guys know if we can find something to get us back home and make some money. made it to Grand Island, Nebraska. Just topped off with fuel, doing my 30-minute break. Went in to go get some Subway, but I don't know. This Subway here, I've never had much luck with it. Last time I stopped in, they closed 4 hours early. Something like that. It was like 2 in the afternoon or something, they closed. Because they were slow, is what I was told from the people at Little Caesars. This time the lady comes out and says, I'll be with you right in a minute. And she goes in the back room, and 9 minutes later, she never came back out. So I'm sitting in front of the island, so I figured I didn't have much time anyway, so I didn't want to hold up anybody. So, that guy back there looks like he's done fueling, but it's getting harder and harder to get food into these places anymore. The warmers have nothing in it. Little Caesars didn't have nothing ready, you had to order. Well, I guess that guy's just gonna leave his truck at the pumps and go in. Yeah, it's not all that easy to grab a quick meal anymore. And that was the first scale house. That was the first 2 scale houses I have seen open on my whole trip out here. From Indiana to home and then home to Colorado. None of the scale houses were open. First one, I had to run over the scale. The second one, I got the bypass on the interstate. But I have not got a level 1 in over a year. I haven't even been pulled in for an inspection of any kind in over a year. I bought this truck, I believe, September 18th of 2020. And within the first 2 weeks of owning this, I didn't even have my plates in yet. I got pulled in for a level 1. And I don't think I even had 2,000 miles on the truck yet, because I'd only done 1 or 2 loads, short runs. I was just talking to somebody else the other day about not getting any inspections. I'm not going to argue, but in a sense, it's kind of nice because we get $100 when we get a clean inspection. I don't have anything wrong, so I'm not worried about it. But, yeah, it's kind of nice to get an inspection to get a little bonus, but nobody wants to see me apparently. And then talking to the dealer at drop-off, I was asking him, I was like, well, what's the deal? The lady said you guys are full. And he said that the delivery slots, they have 10 slots a day, and he said not necessarily, certain time frames, but they take in 10 units a day. On Friday, they took in, I think he said they took in 14 on Friday, and then they took in 12 on Monday. And he said that the yard also is getting full. He said they are really struggling trying to pack them in there once new units come in to even get them to fit. So he said it's kind of both. Their yard's full, and the drop-off times lately, they've just had so many coming in they can't handle them all in one day. So if you're ever going to deliver to Windish RV in Lakewood, Colorado, you may want to call before you even book your load. Sounds like they've been getting a lot in, and they are struggling to keep up with how many are coming in right now. So right now I'm just kind of idling around the parking lot to stay out of people's way so I don't kick my ELD in. So I can get my clock to reset. Should be resetting here pretty quick. Just trying to stay out of people's way. I don't want to be that guy that's blocking somebody. We're just going to pull up next to the scale for right now. Can't have more than about a minute left. So we did not end up getting a load back toward home. So I'm actually just going to make a mad dash back home. Because there was a couple in Kearney, Nebraska I could have grabbed. But I'm just going to bypass them. So the wife is taking off at 3 in the morning, so I'm going to take off with her so we can team drive it. Because she's got, she's going to be like a fill-in person at the grocery store in Sheldon. So she's not going to be on the schedule or nothing like that. That way if they're just short on help, they can call her, and if she's around, she can go in and help, and if not, she doesn't have to worry about it. So just kind of doing something to kind of fill in between her days of not being on the road. So I'm running out with her, and then that way she can get back in time for her interview, and then we can also make it to our kids' archery meet. So
So that is our plan for now. Otherwise, I am about 5 hours, not even. What am I in? I am 4.5 hours from home. So I should be home about 10:30 tonight. And then take off at 3 in the morning, but I'll probably sleep. She can drive the first half, I'll drive the second half. Don't get up a truck for very long doing what we do. But I think that's about it for this one. Yeah, so like I said, if you're going to deliver to Windish, you might want to call and talk to them before you even book the load, which I think I'm going to start doing that for right now. They got a couple more loads, but they got some weather coming in, so I haven't really checked out the forecast, but my weather app was telling me that my current location, when I was just leaving Lakewood, they were in a winter storm watch through Friday, I think it is. And then I got into Nebraska, not sure what little town that was. It started going off for them too, so if they got weather coming across, I'm assuming that's probably going to come hit us at home, depending on how it tracks. I have no idea. I haven't been watching the weather, so I'll check that out. So we're definitely going to want to beat that home on Thursday if it is going to hit us. So go, go, go. Rush, rush, rush. Dodging weather. Scheduling around kids and stuff. And around the dealers. Kind of like the impossible Houdini act right now. Alright, we're going to get back on the road, and we'll see you guys in the next one.